Okay, let's dive into this incredible story. It's about a 91-year-old woman who just recently discovered her entire life was built on a lie. And it all came down to a single hidden letter that completely rewrote her past.
And here it is in her own words. For 7 decades. Think about that. She believed she just wasn't smart enough for the world. But here's the thing. This heartbreaking belief, it wasn't even hers. It was given to her.
You know, at the very heart of this story is just one letter. A single piece of paper tucked away for decades that secretly defined a woman's entire life, all without her ever knowing what it actually said. So let's start in the present day. She's 91 and she's living with her daughter, Claire. Now, Claire is a really important part of this because out of all her kids, when the truth finally came out, Claire was the only one who believed her. This brings us to the central mystery, right? How does this even happen? How did one person's fear completely rewrite another person's life for more than 70 years? Well, to figure that out, we have to go back in time. All the way back to the beginning, to the dream she had long before it was stolen from her. Everything changed in just a few crazy months back in 1950. In the spring, she's 21. She applies to college. By May, this fateful letter shows up, and by June, she's married to a guy named Raymond, believing her dream is completely over. Her entire life's path was decided in just a matter of weeks. And look, this wasn't just some casual dream. She wanted to be a teacher more than anything. Her own mother was a teacher, so she grew up seeing it, and she wanted to help people understand the world. Sending that application was like mailing a piece of her soul toward a better future. But that dream, that piece of her soul, it hit a devastating roadblock. And the blow came from the person she was just starting to trust with her future, her boyfriend, Raymond. So here's what happened. While she was away from home, the letter from the college arrived and Raymond got to it first. He looked her in the eyes, she even remembers them as his honest eyes, and told her she'd been rejected. It was a complete and total lie, and it would change everything. The impact of that lie was just absolutely crushing. For 3 solid days, she cried. She wasn't just mourning a missed opportunity. She thought this was final proof of her deepest fear that she just wasn't good enough. So, feeling like she had no other choice, she married Raymond just 1 month later. And she became what everyone back in the 1950s called a good woman. She had 4 children, kept a perfect house, and just buried her own dreams. She says she became a function for everybody else's needs. So how did a lie that deep, that old, finally come to light? Well, as it turns out, it happened completely by accident. The years just rolled by. 48 years of marriage, all built on that one life-shattering lie. And the whole time, the truth just stayed hidden. Raymond passed away back in 2011, and he took his secret to the grave. The deception actually outlived him by more than a decade. And it wasn't until just a few weeks ago, while she was sorting through some of his old things, that she finally found it. And it was hidden in the most ordinary place you could imagine, a simple shoebox. And the layers of deceit here are just staggering. The key to her stolen future was found buried underneath a pile of letters from another secret, a 28-year affair Raymond had been having. But right there, at the very bottom of that box, was a single yellowed envelope from 1950. Her hands were shaking so much that her daughter Claire had to be the one to read the letter out loud. And its words just blew up that 74-year deception. It wasn't a rejection, it was an acceptance letter with a full academic scholarship. She wasn't just good enough, she was exceptional. So what do you even do with a discovery like that? 74 years too late. For her, it became this urgent message that she knew she had to share with the world. With a lifetime of hindsight, she now sees the motive so clearly. It wasn't about protecting her. It was about his own fear. As she says, it was just more convenient for him to have a wife who believed she was small than a wife who was extraordinary. And she uses her story to just dismantle that societal pressure that tells women to shrink themselves for other people's comfort. She calls the idea that a good woman sacrifices everything a beautiful, terrible lie. The truth is you are not selfish for having your own dreams. This is her urgent call to action, right? It's forged from a lifetime of waiting for permission that was never going to come. She's so clear about this. You can't wait for your husband, your kids, or your parents to give you permission to live for yourself.
You just have to take it. She knows it's too late for her to go stand in a classroom and be a teacher. But it is not too late for her to finally know who she was supposed to be. That letter now sits on her nightstand, a constant reminder that her life is a gift, not a sacrifice.
And so, she leaves us with a challenge, a question that turns her story back on all of us. Her life was stolen because it was more convenient for someone else. So we have to ask ourselves, in what parts of our own lives, big or small, are we choosing silence over our own voice?